Welcome to another Age of Empires 4 casted game. We have in the color blue playing as the Japanese, it's Corvinus. And in the color green playing as the Ayubites, it's Slash. Welcome everyone to Bridge. Basically you have a wooden bridge, and if you destroy it, you're gonna go from here, but also the villagers can repair it. This map, it's a new one. It's gonna be on the EGCTV tournament this February-March 2024, so make sure to tune in to EGCTV Twitch channel or YouTube to check all those matches. And Corvinus already just opening up with the farmhouse. Probably gonna get that Towada very early on. Gonna go for gold. Not gonna be doing some weird stuff like the starting with stone to actually get a second town center really fast. But we see those every day. And Lash also, I suspect he's just gonna go Castle Age really fast, just because the Ayubites is a civilization that it just benefits a lot from it, and it's really easy for them to go castle and get all those relics with the dervish. Anyway, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to give a like and subscribe to watch more Age of Empires 4 content. I'm going to do more and more videos of this every day, so I'm having a lot of fun doing those. I can tell you that. Talking about fun, the other day I met a friend who he's Peruvian. I'm also Peruvian, by the way, but I live in China, and I met him in China. And he was studying Chinese at the University of Sichuan in Chengdu. You know, Chinese has been a problem for me for a long time, because when I came here for the first time, it was 2019, I came to work for Ubisoft, so my focus was just on work, and learning a language was just really not something that I can afford. Like, I got into some classes, like the company paid for some private classes and this kind of thing. And I really didn't learn much. And the way they teach it is very similar to traditional methods of studying languages. It's just like, for example, the first class should be like, hey, let's learn how to say hi, my name is this, blah, blah, blah. Just basic stuff, and you do it with other languages, right? And I've been many years with that, and I cannot speak, no matter how hard I try. Like, it's just so hard. And I asked him, like, hey, I was thinking about going to university too. Now that I have a little bit more free time, I can just go to university to study Chinese. And it's just like, hey, like, how many hours is your classes? How's your typical day look like? And it's like, oh, I go classes like from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. from Monday to Friday. And I was like, what? Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. Like, if I do that, like, for example, I won't be able to have time to do these videos for you guys. And also, like, how much I will learn. Like, I hear it's a lot, right? Like, that's a lot of hours for studying Chinese. But that's the traditional method. And I found these guys that are foreigners. Actually also live in Chengdu, and they have an online program, and I was very hesitant to buy it, but the thing is, the foreigners teaching you Chinese sounds like a weird stuff, right? But they actually it's the right way, because they know how to learn, because they know the struggles. And they come up with a method that is super interesting. Basically, you need to learn the letters. You need to learn the letter first, the meaning, the pronunciation, and then you just study vocabulary, no sentence at all. I've been almost 2 months without any single sentence. And by the way, we have a couple of archers here coming to put some pressure into Lash. Probably Corvinus. Let's see how he deals with this early fast castle. Anyway, the methods have been great. I've been studying a lot recently, and it takes like 1 hour, 2 hours a day only, and I've been seeing great results. And after like 1 or 2 weeks, I start to just learn phrases, and they have it's much easier to learn phrases when you already know how to read and write. And it's just in reverse, you know? Like traditional study methods is like they tell you, oh, you will learn the phrase, you will learn the grammar structure, and you also need to learn the words. This here is like you lay down the foundation, all the things. All you're gonna do is just to build words and words and words, and when you're ready, you're gonna study phrases like crazy. And I'm really learning a lot. I feel like I'm gonna speak Chinese within a year. I feel that way. Anyway, let's get back into the game. So 5 minutes already. Let's go back to income per minute. See how Lash is how far he is from aging up to castle age. Sneaky outpost for the Japanese, actually. Gonna be some archers here. Looks like Lash didn't notice. Oh my god. He doesn't notice about the outpost. Like, he saw the archers, right? Managed to intersect one archer here, but he didn't see the tower, so that's it's really a problem for him. But the thing is, he already have the gold to age up. He only needs the food, so any extra gold is just, you know, some additional stuff. And actually archers do quite well against desert raiders because they don't have range armor, so technically, with enough archers, you should be having a good day against those desert raiders. Anyway, looks like Lash will go to castle age soon. Another tower coming here. Japanese tower rush is here, guys. And it's gonna be on the gold. Now there's not much of an issue here because now Lash is relocating his villagers into another gold vein, and that's not, you know, like you deny this gold and then what, right? Be careful here, gonna lose one villager. I already lost one. Be very careful not to lose another one. Looks like this desert raider is gonna melt against those arrows, and just like that. Looks like the villagers will be able to go back home. Take a look at Corvinus' vision. He has eyes on what's happening in his opponent's base. Meanwhile, there's a raider camping his gold, doing the same stuff. You deny my gold, I deny yours. Go back to income per minute. Looks like Corvinus not really interested on going castle anytime soon. Just massing more and more archers. This base feels a little bit lonely here. It has so many farms here that you're not gathering. But the problem is your opponent also have horsemen. Like if it was only desert raiders, like you can get away with an archer mass. But if it's horsemen we're talking about, then it's gonna be really hard to deal with those. And indeed, Lash is already going castle. Gonna be not the cultural wing, it's gonna be the economic wing. Upon completion grants 8 villagers. 8 villagers. How crazy is that? And it looks like this cultural wing advancement, like, it's not gonna be used very often nowadays, just because people are starting to figure out like what they're gonna do and what are the timings. So he's playing a little bit safer this time. Lash focusing more on having some military, putting some pressure there, and then going castle. Looks like a decent choice. Also, horseman going out for Corvinus to deal with the enemy horseman. Hopefully can get a Uma Bannerman if you have like enough stone. You can get it eventually. That's a very cool unit. Very good one. Now Corvinus is have enough food. Now he's rushing to go castle with 10 villagers here. Corvinus managed to defend and looks like he's gonna go castle himself soon. Only 300 gold left. But Lash already in castle age. He's gonna get those relics really soon. I already have barracks here. He's gonna throw some gulams into the field. which they are very good against everything that Corvinus has here. No, not enough wood for a monastery yet. So he's not gonna be able to grab the relics as soon as he ages up. But he's gonna be focusing more on the military at the beginning. Corvinus just sending what he has just to cause a little bit of damage. At the same time, floating gate also going up for Corvinus with 9 villagers. Now, there are a lot of villagers here, so if Corvinus finds out, and actually it can be a really good play for him. He finds out those villagers, even if he doesn't kill all of them, like he's gonna force him to force a lot of idle time and deny the gold, which he doesn't have at the moment. It's like the Ghulams didn't actually notice the archer, but looks like Corvinus is gonna lose his army here. Archer is just gonna run. It's like, you guys fight, I go for the villagers. And actually, they can actually run really fast, like Yumi Ashigaru has. 1.38 tiles per second. I mean, well, the man-at-arms have 1.19 tiles per second, so technically you can run forever. Hiroshio. Let's see where it gets in place. It's gonna be on the archer. I'm gonna have these Onamushas. 8 seconds to get one Onamusha. One of my favorite units in the game. It's like, it's really expensive actually, but it does a really good job on dealing with those heavy units. Problem is a little bit squishy, so gotta be careful with that. Only 80 HP. Looks like that Ghulam are gonna try to find their way into the enemy gold. And I already have +2 range armor, so these guys are gonna be a little bit more tanky. Samurai also gets called here to deal with the Ghulams. It's gonna be a cavalry only composition for Corvinus. I've seen this before, like builds that are focusing not so much on the infantry. Japanese arguably have the best man-at-arms in the game, but you know, with a combo with Onamushas and Samurai have a really interesting dynamic here. Just because you have a lot of mobility, you can actually have control of the map and actually have very good damage against those heavy units. One relic already here. Monastery just being built here. One relic already for a Lash coming home. So we are equal in the relic side. This combo is beautiful. It's really beautiful. Gotta love it. Gotta love that combo, man. More and more cavalry. Samurai, Onamushas. Which is this unit composition is very heavy on foot, very heavy on gold. Meaning your wood maybe should be used to get some farms or some upgrades to get that food and gold, or otherwise you're not gonna be able to produce, especially when you're on 1 TC. It's gonna be a little bit harder. Looks like these units will find out their way to the gold vein here. Finally, Lash dealing with this tower, but at the same time, Corvinus finds those villagers. And this is a perfect unit composition to actually raid. Attacking from distance, he's gonna kill all the villagers here. Corvinus killing 9 villagers in total. In under 1 minute, he managed to get actually more villagers than Lash, and Lash already got 8 villagers from aging up for free. It's a huge advantage for Corvinus now. Really getting that town center upgraded. Expecting to see the Uma Bannerman joining. Now it's very interesting. The Uma Bannerman actually buffed the cavalry from, you know, in general, cavalry in general. It's not only knights, but also Onamushas get buffed by range attack by the Uma Bannerman. So technically you only need 1 Bannerman to buff all the army that is here. It's a really interesting strat actually. A lot of mobility, And now more raids may come soon. Corvinus didn't actually notice. It could actually be GG there if he managed to find those villagers, and those villagers actually don't get back home. More villagers go down for Lash. Now more and more units coming for Lash. Now this is a decent number of spearmen, so you're gonna be very, very careful here to not being in touch with those units. Looks like Corvinus will mix some samurais here. Looks like there is no lancers here yet, so just gonna be having quite a good time against those units, especially with those Mount Samurais that are really strong. No upgrades whatsoever for +1 melee attack or defense, but it's gonna be a little bit tough. Chris gonna get spotted here. Meanwhile, Lash going for a Magonel. Interesting choice, just because there's actually no infantry yet, but he suspects it's gonna be more spearmen soon, and definitely the Magonel is the right counter for this. Is Corvinus gonna change to another unit composition, like go full infantry? He's just gonna leave this like this, just for raiding, and then the main military force will be like maybe spearmen and samurai. I love that idea, by the way. Meanwhile, more farms for Corvinus. Let's see how many farms he have. 14. Looks like Lash is gonna do a counter attack. It's a lot of spearmen here, so you need to be careful. But the Magonel are already in place. Managed to get a shot. Decent shot against those Onamushas. Managed to deal decent damage against them. Another shot coming here. Mount Samurai won't care about the spearman. I feel this is a mistake. You're gonna lose your main unit here. There's still a lot of spearmen for the opponent, and you already lost all your cavalry. Corvinus back to 80 military population, only spearmen and Onamushas yet. Lash focusing on more and more spearmen, focusing Corvinus to stop actually producing the Mount Samurais. Probably we're gonna see the samurai joining the field, and a unit with combined with the spearman can be devastating to this composition, but we don't see it yet. Economic upgrades just going up for Lash. Looks like Corvinus is going back to his base. Gotta be careful with that Magonel. Magonel actually doing a lot of damage to those Onamushas. One more shot and they are down. Managed to take one of them down. And the other ones have very little HP, but the priest's actually healing them. Now more and more units coming for Lash here. It's gonna be spearman only composition. It's like spearman only. That's all the unit I need. I remember that there was a time where I was out of gold. I was in a nomad match, and I just didn't have gold around me, and my opponent was really pushing, and I just, you know, fight with what I can. I just mass spearman and nest of bees on the back, mass spearman, and with only spearman I was able to burn down. I remember, I think it was Ayyubids or Abbasid. I was able to burn down the House of Wisdom and the town center. He got eliminated, but it was only spearman. Spearman was the only thing I needed. Actually, very good unit, very cheap. That's the job done. Gets the job done, and it's very good against cavalry. So spearman is a really good unit, actually, especially in later stages of the game. When you get elite spearman, those are really good. Take a look at Lash base. Having more and more production buildings committed to aggression. Also more walls coming here for Lash, taking control of this side of the map. Corvinus already getting the cold at the north. And Lash start pushing with the rams. I'm gonna take down the stable, fortunately for him. Corvinus doesn't need it, but this leaves him without production. Let's take a look at his production. Only one archery range, one sable, one barracks. He doesn't have enough. He knows that. He starts building barracks on the back of his base. He needs those production buildings ASAP, just so that he can get some units. Samurais here will do a wonderful job against all those units. Gonna be the Katana Bannerman to buff all the military units. Are we gonna see Samurai? We're about to see, yes, Samurai is being produced. Hiroshiro, in the wrong building. It's in that building that you actually don't need it right now. And Lash actually going for a raid here, managed to take down some villagers, but they're already in the town center. And this town center is really heavy, so you won't be able to take down it very fast. Spearman gonna be focusing on the villagers here. The pressure is really high for Corvinus, but he already has 4 barracks. He needs more and more samurais joining. But Lash already on 53 military population. Corvinus gonna run here. Like Lash suspects he's gonna be on the back. And Corvinus already built a wall here just to be safe. Now samurais are starting to attack those spearmen. Remember, he's fighting in the town center, so he's still gonna get some decent damage. Villagers are safe for now. The houses are being burned on the back. It's gonna be housed soon. But he has enough wood to put some houses now. More and more samurais are coming. Shinto priests are actually doing a really good job killing the samurais. Look at this, 1 samurai against 4 spearmen. That reminds me of For Honor. You know For Honor, a game from Ubisoft? It was had a very cool concept. Very cool game. For Honor. It was an action game. And you can actually choose between like Western civilization, like the Asian, like, and also I think you can just choose Japanese, Western in general. I don't know if it has any country specific, and then the barbarians or something like that. But you can have like the samurai kind of play. This is really cool, really well made. The game is really fun to play with. Now Lash managed to kill quite a few villagers here. It looks like spearmen not gonna be enough to deal with those samurais. Lash spots some villagers on the top of this map. And I'll be running here to the outpost. Outpost getting sprinkled with placements, but not ready yet. Villagers gonna hide into the outpost. Villagers are actually just gonna fight now. Well, samurai just dealing with what's left of the spearman yet. And now Lash is transitioning into crossbows. Doing a really good job at reading your opponent's military units. More outposts coming here. Remember, the Japanese do not have access to keeps, unfortunately. They can only upgrade the town centers. And now more pressure on Corvinus base. Looks like he's gonna lose these barracks. And with that, the unit that is being produced. He managed to leave by a second. Is he gonna bring a villager to repair it? Only 60 health left. Managed to repair it on time. At this point, he cannot afford to lose more production buildings. He needs as much army as possible. Veteran Onamusha's actually coming for Corvinus now. Now another raid. And the bridge, it's burned. The villagers cannot run. But actually, the villagers can repair this bridge. Now the villagers will have to hide here. But the problem is Corvinus cannot send a reinforcement just because the bridge is burned. Oh my god. Actually sending a transport ship. It's like, guys, I need help. Oh yeah, flight ticket or something, but you need to come here. and at the same time Lash putting more pressure into Corvinus' base with more and more units. Corvinus has his main military force here. Bridge still burned. Gotta love the samurai. Take a look at the upgrades. Level 3 attack, not researched yet. An outpost gonna be up, but looks like he's gonna get denied. Villager's gonna go down, and with that the outpost is gonna get cancelled before Corvinus starts torching it. More lancers coming here to the base again. Non-stop pressure coming from Lash. Meanwhile, the transport ship are there. Remember, this water does not come with fish, so you cannot actually fish here. Now the Desert Raiders just gonna get melted here. Corvinus actually went for a second town center. He realized he lost a lot of villagers during that raid. He needs to catch up. That's definitely the right call. He's actually upgrading it, so it's gonna be able to put more and more farms here. How many farms he has? 20 so far. More and more units coming from Lash, this time veteran archers. The problem is Corvinus doesn't have any walls yet, so he cannot stop the bleeding. Where are his units? His units are here. Transport ship already just gonna take the taxi here. Just call the Uber. Transport ship is here. It's gonna get there really fast. And if we need to come back, we just call the Uber again. Well, it's gonna go down. But the problem is Corvinus already here. Yoroshiro is inside this building. Looks like he's gonna lose it. Meanwhile, Corvinus taking down a lot of villagers. Just in the blink of an eye. Around 10 villagers just died. But this is a really strong force. We're talking about 81 military units. I don't think this is an army. You cannot underestimate this army. Farms gonna be burned down by the Magonel. And the main military force of Corvinus is still here. Town center is upgraded, so he's gonna leave for now. The problem is this Magonel is just burning all the farms. Corvinus managed to save by a wall. It's gonna build a siege workshop. Probably gonna get the Springle. Never mind. Probably a Magonel himself. Against that many archers, you really need a Magonel. Otherwise, it's gonna be really hard. Meanwhile, Lash in trouble too. With just a few units left. Looks like the Uber gets detected. It's gonna go down eventually. More and more villagers. Villagers are fighting now. Everyone fights here. More villagers go down. Both players with a very similar villager count. Corvinus with slightly ahead. Still more raids coming here. Farm transition for Lash still in progress. Like the villagers are on the run here, and 2 Magonels are being built. But the problem is the camels are here. Just not gonna be able. They didn't notice about the Magonel. They let them leave for a moment. Uber gets destroyed. And now, more farms coming for Corvinus. Still, giving a really good fight, but the problem is he's down to 2 military population. Magonel gonna get a shot here, but looks like he's gonna miss. And the archers are just gonna deal so much damage to the Magonel. It's gonna go down. Corvinus. Sorry for that. Corvinus with only 3 barracks. The last samurai was here. And Corvinus will try to mass his army again. Once again with a Yoroshiro placed in the barracks. Making veteran samurais every 8 seconds, but Lash cannot stop the push. The good thing about Corvinus is that Lash He's lost a lot of villagers too, so you know he cannot have that many units. But the problem is, still a lot of units remain from his last attempt to push Corvinus, and it's looking really rough for Corvinus at the moment. Gold gonna get denied here. The last gold is here. Luckily for him, he still can mine stone to get some gold. Is the town center? If the town center can be upgraded, he's doing it. Probably a town center here can save him. But for the moment, he still needs more and more units, more Magonel. At this point, you just mass siege and pray for the best. Barracks gonna go down. And town center gets upgraded to a Shogunate castle. Shogunate castle actually does a lot of damage. Pretty much for every shot he will kill one unit here. See how the Shogunate castle actually does a really wonderful job. More units coming here. Barracks in the back again. Yoroshiro inside the siege workshop, but unfortunately no wood for him. Farms are gonna get burned. They're gonna come back soon. But Lash still putting some pressure. No more units for Lash. He has a lot of food actually in the mine. He can actually age up. More and more units. Wololo attempt. Managed to be saved by Wololo for the moment. Decent Magonel shot. Villagers coming here to repair the Magonel. Spearman also came here to deal with the Lancers. And Lash reach Imperial Age. And with that, Corvinus taps out. He said he cannot keep defending. Very well played by these two players. Nice defense by Corvinus. One last shot.